Welcome to My Forever Home, the podcast. I'm Frances Cosway and I've helped hundreds of people create forever homes. I know firsthand how different it is creating a forever home rather than a house you plan to flip in a few years' time. I believe your forever home should reflect what you love and suit your lifestyle rather than being about trends and resale value. You're creating a home for you and your family, not anyone else. So I'm here to help and guide you along the way. I'm going to share all there is to know about creating a quality forever home that's functional, sustainable, future-proof and adaptable to your family's changing needs so it's multi-generational. We don't do cheap and nasty here. We're about creating things to last. It is your forever home after all. I want to help you gain the knowledge you need to be planned and prepared to create the forever home of your dreams. I can't wait to share the journey with you. So let's start. Hello and welcome to this episode of the My Forever Home podcast. It's the start of a brand new year, 2025. Obviously being recorded in 2025 too. So I just wanted to have a bit of a chat about how we create space for ourselves over the holidays, particularly over a long holiday period where effectively the entire country closes down for a period of weeks over the Christmas and New Year. And I just wanted to chat about how that reflection can really impart or drive what's going to end up happening for us in 2025. I find, and I'll reflect a little bit about myself personally, that I take a longer break over the holidays, not only because it's school holidays, but I just feel because the country pretty much shuts down over this period, over the December, January holiday period, that I should do the same. But what it actually gives me is really the only time in the year to have a lot of space in my mind, in my home, and without working, it just gives me this very precious space and time to reflect. And when we're not busy running around doing a whole lot of things, and I'm sure that you can relate to what I'm saying here, when you're not running here, there and everywhere, particularly if you've got kids, there's drop-offs and pick-up and lunches and this activity and that activity. You don't have any of those things going on. So just minimizing that rush just creates space. And I actually find over this period it's really quite profound. But when we're also rested, our mind is rested, we're able to think more clearly and we see things differently. And just having that space, often things pop up for me that just probably had no way of popping up because my mind was so full of stuff. Mainly stuff that I had to do because I feel like I'm my family's PA. Can relate to that, hands up. And I do lots of things to clear my space as well for the new year. So I do lots of sorting and tidying. I do reconfiguring around in my home. It's like that piece of furniture has been driving me nuts there. I need to move it. But of course, just the thought of that in my busy mind throughout the year doesn't happen. So I get more clarity in my mind and I slow down and then I can do those things. And the more space in my head, the clarity is such a beautiful thing. And I know when I then think about going back to my busy life with the kids back in school and everything, it can sometimes even bring on for me a little bit of anxiety around, but I know that I'm going to be running around like a headless chook. And I've been so calm and relaxed for this period. Please don't let it get like that again. And inevitably it does. Although I think that I've got some things that have come up in my mind over this period that I'm going to implement to try and keep that clarity and calm and that non-rushed feeling. So there are definitely changes in my business world and also my private world that can hopefully help me transition out of this 2024 holiday period into my working and school life, I should say, that is not so hectic. Let's see how I go. Check in with me this time next year, or this time this year, I should say, or next year, early next year, and let's see if I've actually achieved that. Fingers crossed I have, because I'm making myself accountable as well as getting other people to make me accountable as well. One of the things that pops up for me, and I hear it a lot from my clients as well, is when you've actually had time to hang out at home. A lot of us don't go away at this time of year because it is so busy. That's one of the reasons I don't. I choose to stay at home because I don't want to deal with the hordes of tourists in tourist locations. So when we're at home, I certainly find that when we've slowed down and we're hanging around our home a little bit more, a little bit like what happened in COVID, we tend to start thinking about the things that really annoy us. I don't like the layout of the bathroom, or those drawers in the pantry are driving me crazy, or I really don't like the fact that I've got to step 3 paces to get from the dishwasher to unpacking my crockery into the drawers in my kitchen. It's those little things, because we're living with them more, we're paying a little bit more attention, that really start triggering us. And the other thing is, I often hear clients say, oh yeah, I was actually meant to do the renovation last year and life got in the way and we didn't end up doing it. And then you berate yourself for, oh, we didn't actually do that project. And look, I had plenty of plans for 2024. I always do. And, they just didn't happen. Other things popped up that became far more important, and they had to take priority and precedent over these plans that I had. And that may have happened for you too. But the other thing is, when we're in holiday mode in our homes, we often have a lot more people over. We've got the festive season. We may have had people over celebrating various things, New Year, Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. And then you can also see the holes in, and I say that flippantly, I suppose, that the holes that are starting to become apparent in the functionality of certain spaces in our home. Or, I wasn't able to do this because this wasn't working, or that was in the wrong spot. And so I wish I could have been able to have more people, or whatever it is. Those things also start to become apparent as we're, dealing with different things in our home over this festive season. So, maybe ask yourself a couple of questions about, where have you felt, either over this holiday period or just over the last 12 months, or even over the many years that you've been in your home, where do you feel that your home has let you down? The other way that I could phrase that is, what's been the biggest bugbear? What has been the thing that has been driving you crazy, yet you haven't had the space or the time, or maybe even the funds to be able to get it fixed? But if you could think about what that is that's really driving you nuts, the other way that you could think about it is, if I could change one thing, what would that be? And it could be a really simple thing. It could be, I am sick and tired of that light fitting. It's been driving me insane the day we moved into the house, and I just never got around to changing it. And the other thing that often happens is, and I think we're all guilty of this, my hand is really raised high at this moment, is we get used to things. And so they just become the norm. And you may have moved into your home thinking, oh, I can't stand that, I can't stand this, I'm going to change all of those things. And then you move in, you start living your life, things get busy, and then you actually stop noticing. But in the back of your mind, and probably a little bit in your heart, you're thinking, I still don't like that, and I haven't fixed it, and I should have fixed it, and maybe now I should be fixing it. But don't berate yourself about it, because it happens to all of us. We just get, stuck in the norm. I'll let you in on a little, in my own house, I'm a little bit of a hard rubbish junkie. Can't pass up something on hard rubbish that looks really good condition. Oh, I'll save it for this, or I'll probably be able to find a use for that. Maybe I'm a closet hoarder. Maybe I'm not even a closet hoarder. It drives my husband insane, absolutely insane. So I did find this awesome, absolutely fabulous, really well-made, beautiful basket. And it was in perfect condition. And I mean, it was like a big chest of a basket, super thick cane and just gorgeous. And I could not let it go, even though it's not really what I would have in my current home. It's more, I can see it perfectly in the holiday house that I don't have. And I have got, as part of my hoarding issue, gee, where is this podcast episode really going? But anyway, I'll just share this anyway. I've sort of got I feel quite guilty about this, but I've sort of got an area in my garage that's sort of hidden, so my husband can't really see it and see the stuff that's there, of stuff that I've found off hard rubbish or has been given to me, or we don't really need it in our own house anymore. And I sort of call it the holiday house corner. We don't have a holiday house, but it's sort of there because I don't want to get rid of it, because I think I can see how that's going to work in this holiday house we don't have. And so that's what I thought about the basket as well. Well, it's not really my vibe in my current house, but it's really the vibe for this non-existing holiday house that I have and will one day maybe have, if I can maybe have a holiday house one day. So it hasn't quite made it to the garage in the holiday house corner of where I've got all these amazing bits and pieces that I just know are going to work beautifully when one day, if ever, we ever get this holiday house. But anyway, this basket that I got off hard rubbish doesn't really fit there, but I can see that I'm going to have to make time to sort this out because it's in our entry. And it's not really meant to be there, and it is not completely in the way, but it's a little bit in the way. And we had a new dishwasher delivered just before Christmas. And of course, the basket had to come out of the hallway because they couldn't go past it with the dishwasher. And my husband said, oh, it was actually really nice not having that silly basket in the hallway, and it actually looked much better without it, because I swiftly put it back in its spot, of course, once the dishwasher had been delivered. So it's a bugbear, right? And I need to probably do something about it. It drives my husband crazy, and it's just stuff that, because it's been there for so long, it just looks like it should be there, even though I know it shouldn't, because it's just been there for so long. So that was a really long way, an elongated way for me to talk about how we really get used to things just being there, even though we know they shouldn't. It's like the piles of books on the floor, or the piles of newspapers that we haven't got to, or sorting out clothes. There's the pile of clothes that we were going to sort out and we never did. And you just see them and you just walk past them and you think, oh, it's just part of the space now. So what are all the things? Has this prompted and triggered a whole lot of things for you around, your bugbear, the one thing that you could change, the things that you've just allowed to be your norm? Like, I got a lot of them. I just shared the biggest one, the basket. And there'll be heaps of others around the house as well. I do know that when I had friends of mine come from Scotland last year, boy, did that trigger the biggest clean out I've ever had since we moved in here 11 years ago. And the house is still looking relatively similar. The basket was there. The basket was definitely there when my friends arrived. I didn't quite clear that out. That was just a step too far. So what has triggered for you over the holidays when you've had this restful time in your mind and in your life? What are some of the things that have come up for you around, I need to change this year? We're going to do that reno this year. I'm sick and tired of living like this now. The house is not working how we want it to. It really showed up. I wasn't able to entertain the way I wanted to entertain because I couldn't do this, or I didn't have space for this. What's shown up for you over this period? Because this is probably the most important period for you to get clarity in your mind about what you want to do in 2025. And so with that, well, actually, another question. Can I live with this another year the way it is? Or will I make change in 2025 so I'm not thinking about it this time next year? You really don't want to be in that spot. So I hope that there has been some clarity for you over this time. And if it is something to do with your home, it may not have been. By all means, I know the feeling. I know exactly how it feels, and about putting things off and not getting things done. So book a chat with me. Let's talk. about how we can get things moving for you in 2025. There'll be a link in the show notes for booking a chat with me. You can also go to the website whitepebbleinteriors.com.au. It's really clearly marked there, book a chat. You can find a time that suits you. Let's have a chat about what is your biggest bugbear. What's the stuff you've been putting off? What's the frustration that you think, oh, can I just get this fixed? Because I'd love to help you, because I know what it feels like. So I look forward to chatting with you 2025, and I look forward to making changes with you that in December this year, you're going to say, yes, big tick, I did that, and feel great and really feel very, very comfortable and happy with the way your home is at the end of 2025. So book a chat now. whitepebbleinteriors.com.au, you'll find a book a chat, and I really, really look forward to chatting with you. Have a great week. Bye for now. If you're ready to renovate or build your forever home, you're in the right place. Here are some ways to gain further inspiration or how we can work together. Book a chat with me so we can discuss your project in more detail and see how we may be able to assist you with one of our fixed price packages. You can book a chat with me directly at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/chat. If you're after some peace of mind that your floor plan is as good as it can be, for a small investment, a floor plan sanity check could be just what you need. I review your plans as that second set of professional eyes, ensuring it's functional, flexible, and future-proof for lasting peace of mind. This can save you thousands in structural changes down the track. You can find out more and book directly at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au. And if you'd like to get your hands on some reading material, unlock your dream home and dive into our first ever magazine, Creating Your Forever Home. It's packed with expert insights, stunning visuals, and practical advice on building your forever home. Grab your copy and be inspired now. You can also access the first 3 chapters of my book, Your Forever Home, a practical and helpful guide to gain insights on how to create a home that will suit your needs for the long term. Everything is available at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/links. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of My Forever Home. If you loved it, please leave a review, share it on Facebook and Instagram for your friends, and be sure to sign up to our newsletter for more insights on creating the forever home of your dreams. If you're really ready to get started, you can book a chat with me via the website whitepebbleinteriors.com.au or check out our online courses designed to provide a clear framework for you at myforeverhome.com. If you've got a question, be sure to get in touch at podcast@myforeverhome.com. Have a great day.